Does testosterone really affect muscle growth? Well, to help illustrate this point, look at this guy before and after taking testosterone. Look at this guy before and after taking testosterone. Look at this girl before and after taking testosterone, and look at this girl who has a very high level of T. What do we notice? Well, they're all very muscular. Now, I am pushing it to the extremes. These people are either taking testosterone through a needle or orally, for their athletic performance or bodybuilding aspirations. So what does testosterone mean for the rest of us? Well, personally, I believe my current physique and the transformation that I've experienced over the last 14 months can be attributed to my diet and my lifestyle being tailored towards testosterone. When I was younger, I used to eat foods that was harmful towards my T levels, with many of my progress from that time indicating that I may have had a little more estrogen than I really should have had. Now, what tells me this? Well, the number one benefit of testosterone is testosterone uses calories to create muscle instead of fat. So if you eat 3,000 calories a day of high protein, high fat meals, with high T, you'll put on a lot more muscle than if you had low T and higher estrogen. Now, why is this? Well, it's an evolutionary factor. In caveman days, males had to be strong to fight off other males from mates or from competition for certain feeding areas or for hunting spots or even just for hunting itself. Therefore, the males who mated most were the ones who had the highest testosterone, which meant they were likely to have the most muscles, the most strength, and the most power. This is further evident because in scientific studies, we are now understanding that testosterone is essential for the synthesizing of proteins into muscles. This priority for muscle over fat is further evident by looking at the female hormones that encourage the body through estrogen to put on more fat. And I'm not actually going to say this is a bad thing. Estrogen is more prominent in females because it is beneficial for them to have more fat on their body, so they'll be able to actually sustain growing a child inside of them. And this is no different in the male body as well. If you have higher estrogen, you're likely to have more fat. And if you have lower fat, you're likely to have higher testosterone. And vice versa. Now, testosterone actually does this by increasing growth hormones. Growth hormone comes from the pituitary gland, which is a part of our brain. Now, it just so happens that testosterone can help regulate this part of the brain to produce more or less human growth hormone. Let's not forget as well that growth hormone is often taken externally, similar to testosterone, for athletic performance and for muscle growth and recovery, bone density, and even height expansion if you're still around puberty age. Testosterone also boosts dopamine. Now, dopamine is not happiness, and a lot of people have this misconception that if they just have more dopamine, they're going to be happier, or that they don't have enough dopamine, therefore they're depressed. But that's not exactly the informed take. Dopamine is essential for our body's motivational systems. In James Clear's book Atomic Habits, he mentions that in order for you to want to repeat the task, it must end in some kind of reward. That reward will either be dopamine or something that causes dopamine, for example, like a sweet treat. Testosterone actually upregulates this, meaning you will be more motivated and will find the hard work, whether in the gym or in life, actually more rewarding. Now we've talked about testosterone and we've talked about estrogen, but there's actually one more hormone that people don't talk about, that a lot of people don't know, which is the most powerful of both of them, and that is DHT. DHT is essentially a more potent form of testosterone that only testosterone can make. This hormone alters and masculinizes bone structure and fat metabolism. It is this hormone in particular that is responsible for your development as a man. And the only ways to increase this is to have more testosterone and to also increase 5-alpha reductase. That is the enzyme that creates DHT out of testosterone. If you want to boost your testosterone and if you want more muscle growth, if you want to change your physique and boost your testosterone, watch this video for the diet that can do it for you.